Have you ever had the experience of waking up from a dream, knowing that it was interesting, profound, moving, but you struggle to remember what happened? Or have you had the experience where you're wanting to go deeper in your dream space, but you just keep rehashing the day you had over and over again? Whatever you were doing at work, what you were watching on Netflix, what you were scrolling on your phone, and you're hitting a wall in terms of what you can experience on the astral. Working with simple and powerful energy tools with intention has helped me to remember more of my dreams more of the time and have more meaningful experiences on the astral. I often find that it's not so much about what you're doing immediately upon waking as what you're doing before you go to sleep. So that's really going to be the focus. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Christine from Kyanite Psychic Services, and I love to help sensitive and creative souls build confidence and trust in their gifts and abilities. And you can find out more about me and my practice at kyanitepsychic.com. So, one of the most powerful vehicles for you to have more conscious astral experiences and to go deeper is to set your intention. And it's not really just one intention, but a series of intentions that are then supported by energy tools and energy work that you do. The first tool that I want to share with you is called a separation rose. And you can use this tool in many different contexts, but I like to use it to set the intention to separate from my day. So if you're someone that rehashes the day in your dreams or you struggle with that, this is the tool to use. I have talked about it a bit on my channel in the past in different contexts. I'll link that video up above, but I want to walk you through this tool right now because it's so easy, it's fun, and very effective. So you can close your eyes and just start to collect your awareness into your center of your head. And that's the space right behind your eyes. So taking a breath, just bringing your awareness there. Great. And once you're settled, right out in front of you, you can create a rose in any color that you like. It can be in the most detail or an abstraction. Whatever you like, your intention's the most important thing. And then we're going to program this rose with your intention. And let's keep it simple first. Have this rose catch up the energy of your day, whatever you were doing before this moment. Once you've programmed it with your intention, allow the rose to catch up that energy. And I like to do this one of two ways. You can choose. One, just have it sit out in front of you and be like a big vacuum and catch up all that energy. Or you can have it come into your field through your body, chakras, and aura and catch up that energy, kind of like a Swiffer duster. And then when you're ready, once it's caught up all that energy, you can push it a mile away and explode it. Maybe you see it burst into fireworks. However you see it is how you see it. So it's a very simple tool. Let's play with it again and we'll get a little more specific. So right out in front of you, from the center of your head, create a rose in any color. And we're going to program it with your intention to catch up the energy of whatever you were looking at most recently on social media. Maybe you were scrolling, maybe you were reading an article, anything before this moment. You can let the rose come into your field or stay right out in front of you. And then once it's caught up all that energy, take it, push it way far away from you, and let it explode. Great. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Come on back. So it's a really simple, powerful tool. And you might find that some days got to use a whole bunch of roses to separate from your day, whatever you were watching or doing. And some days one will do you. Again, you can be general or specific. So some other examples to get the creativity flowing. Yeah, we have social media. That's a big one. So if you're on your phone, you want to separate from that. Whatever you were last watching. So if you're like me, it's like the episode of X-Files you watched for the 10th time before bed. Maybe you want to separate from that. Um, you can separate from conversations that you had, your work specifically, if you struggle with that, um, any worries or concerns that you might be carrying with you, what you're going to do tomorrow. Sometimes we're really future focused. So you can use that tool with liberty and have fun with it. It's not about, can I create a rose that's in HD and the most detail possible? What makes it the most effective is your intention, your focus in working with the tool. Just remember that once it's caught up all that energy, you want to get it outside of your aura. You don't want to have it go back into your energy field. So push it way far away from you. And, it's not that it's going to always catch up 100% of the day's energy. Sometimes there's a little bit that remains. But, I find that when I use this tool, if there's something from my day that does make it into my dream space, it's more likely to be something that genuinely wants my attention rather than just the momentum of the day or energetic distractions or something like that. So once I've let go of the day, the next thing that I love to do is to ground and ground with intention. I've talked about grounding at different points on this channel. And if you're not familiar with how to ground in meditation, simply I'll link a meditation up above for you to check out. But really, any of the guided meditations on my channel start with grounding. So you get some experience, whatever you click on. When it comes to grounding with intention, I'll walk you through kind of how I do it. I've created a grounding cord, connected it to the earth and to myself. And as I start to lean into how it feels to ground with my awareness, my eyes closed, I'll focus on different parts of my body. And usually I'll move from my feet all the way up to my head, but you could go the other way, doesn't matter, side to side, whatever floats your boat. But as I focus on each part of my body, I'll set the intention to ground out whatever might be in the way of having conscious experiences on the astral or anything in the way of remembering your dreams, however you want to word your intention. Again, it can be very general, it can be very specific, but I'll move through the body, through the layers of my aura, right, systematically, and just spend some time releasing energy and noticing whatever I notice in that meditation. This practice has been tremendously effective for me. And no, it doesn't mean I remember every single dream every night, but it has really helped me remember more of my experiences consistently. And again, also to move past some of those surface level experiences into something deeper. There's that statistic out there that human beings spend roughly a third of our lives asleep. And yeah, that's pretty remarkable when you think about it. What stands out to me also is that, so many of us spend the majority of our time organizing our homes, schedules, what we're doing in our waking lives. We don't tend to as much the environment where we're spending 1/3 of our lives asleep. So it's really important to tend to the energy of your bedroom, your sleep space, and also tend to it on a physical level. Like if your bedroom is a mess, first of all, no judgment, it happens. It happens, but you might want to clean it up. If it's chaotic, that is going to affect the quality of sleep you have and also your astral experiences. Yes. Okay, you don't have to be a minimalist. Your bedroom doesn't have to be perfectly spotless, but you might want to keep the area clean, especially around your nightstand, your head, what's around your head when you're sleeping. Really tend to that. I'm not like a neat freak per se, but I would consider myself fairly organized. And that's one area of my home where I really am on top of things. I think it makes a huge difference. On an energetic level, I love to ground the room and set the energy of the room for bed. And I've made a whole video about how to ground and set the energy of your space. I'm going to link that above rather than walking you through all the steps again. But you can set an intention as you ground out your room and keep it as open or specific as you like. It could simply be to have restful sleep. It could be setting the room to a vibration that allows you to have more conscious astral experiences, whatever you like. One thing occasionally in your space, and this might be in any area of your home, but maybe your bedroom might feel a little, I don't know, funky, for lack of a better word. Maybe there's some real stagnant energy in there. If you notice that, if you feel that, something I love to do is bring the room to gold. What does that mean? Um, just closing your eyes and visualizing golden light or even gold foil sometimes, just covering the room, every inch, every nook and cranny of your space. And you can sit with that for a moment, whatever feels good to you. And then once it feels like the room is cleansed energetically, you can set the energy for whatever your intention is. You can also energetically own the room as your sleeping space for rest, for healing, for exploration. And I love to do that by visualizing myself writing my full name on the walls and ceiling and floor of the space. So that can be something to try to support you. And it's not about protection or in a fear-based way, it's about sovereignty and ownership. So, one final practice that I often incorporate before I fall asleep is to set a healing intention. I don't do this all the time, but when I do, it's usually something really simple, and I like to keep it open. So, I'll call in my healing guides that I work with and let them know, hey, I'd like to receive healing on a part of my physical body or my energetic body while I'm sleeping. Can we work on that? Can you take me to my healing space on the astral? Or I'll ask to receive insight regarding a certain challenge I'm facing, or perhaps I'm asking them, hey, I'd like to learn something new. What I've found over the years is that I don't want to be overly controlling with these intentions, like take me to this place right now. Thank you very much. Rather than asking for a specific experience, it's beneficial to remain open to whatever might really benefit you in the moment. Sometimes we don't know what that is right away. So what do you do once you wake up in the morning? Well, the thing that most people suggest is really one of the most beneficial things to do, and that's to document your dreams ASAP. Whether you want to write them down in a journal, you want to record them in a voice memo, or I like to use the Notes app on my phone sometimes. Uh, Even a few keywords will be helpful. And the more that you do this, the more you will remember. It's funny, one of my friends who also teaches people how to read energy has a saying that I love, and it's see it, say it. Meaning, the more you communicate what you're seeing when you're reading energy, the more that you begin to perceive. And I think that same see it, say it principle applies to dreams too. The more that you are documenting what you perceive, what you see, the more that you're shown. Your mind and your conscious awareness are realizing through this action that, hey, these experiences matter. And also, spirit realizes, hey, these experiences matter to you and you're wanting to go deeper. So you're given more and more and more. I've also noticed over time that continuing to develop our non-physical senses, psychic abilities, supports our dream recall and the depth of experience on the astral. Because guess what? The senses that you're using to perceive energy in your waking life, like clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, etc., those are the same senses you use in your astral body when you're out on the astral when you dream. So the more that we cultivate these parts of ourselves, the easier it's going to be to remember these experiences and to have more in-depth experiences. So whether you remember one dream a month, several every night, I hope that the tools that I'm sharing here help you get a little more curious and deepen the experiences that you have on the astral. If you try them out, let me know. I would love to hear how they've been working for you in the comments. And if you haven't seen the rest of my Astral Plane series, I invite you to check it out. I'll put a link up above and also in the comments below. And over the coming weeks, I'm also going to continue to explore dreams and astral experiences, including what I believe might be happening while we sleep, and also some of the extraordinary dreams that have really shaped my journey and my life over the years. So thank you again for being here. Be blessed, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.